Welcome, darling. Welcome, darling. Charles, come take this. Let the 2019 Best of Beauty High-End Makeup commence. There is no Charles. What's up, Pineapple? So as you can tell from the intro, I am going to be presenting you my 2019 high-end makeup picks. Now, I want because I am honestly such a drugstore lover, and yesterday I posted up all my drugstore picks, like my creme de la creme that I absolutely love, but I do like high-end makeup as well. Also, before we get into the video, don't forget to subscribe to your girl, show me some love. So now let's get into the video. Woo! Okay guys, so let's start off with a brow pencil. I finally found one where I'm just like, whoa! And this pencil, for me at least personally, is perfection. This one is from NARS, and it's just like your standard, you know, your twist up pencil, and I am in the shade Lava. And what I love about these brow pencils is that they have the description of the shade. So Lava is a dark brown warm. I'm currently wearing it today, and this is called the Brow Perfector. It's not drying at all. It's not too creamy. It is the perfect consistency, at least for my like skin type. I have an oily T-zone, normal all around, and usually 90% of the time, like the middle of my brow and the tail definitely fade. Like my tail would probably go away, and then it just looks like I have sperm brows or tadpoles. This, it lasts all day, and I love it. Like, first high-end pencil where I'm like, yes, because I know so many people are on the Anastasia, but I feel like it doesn't really match a lot of skin types. I find that like that creamy consistency and how pigmented it is, you just go through that pencil so quick, and that's another gripe of mine, and this one has been lasting so long. I am very surprised to see how much more I have. Okay, so that is how much I have left over, and I am obsessed with this pencil. It is bomb. I mean, I don't use it every day, but I definitely like to, you know, use it sparingly because it is that amazing. Next, let's go into primers. For like an everyday primer, say that you don't really care about like smoothing out your pores, you just want something to prep your skin, you have a smooth canvas, and you also want to moisturize. These are good for like on those quick days. Still, the Smashbox Primerizer. This is probably my third or fourth bottle of this. It's an amazing primer. It's very nice and light right there, and it's just a quick on-the-go prime. You go, you moisturize, it primes, and you don't have to worry about anything. It's like one of those set it and forget it. You know, those infomercials at like 3 in the morning when you got to bring your ass to bed. Now, for a primer where you really want to smooth out your canvas and their skincare benefits, Tatcha. I have been on this primer. So I do have a backup. I just haven't opened it yet. But this primer, I literally scrape till literally dry. The skincare benefits say that they will help tighten and minimize pores. So I'm someone where I love skincare. So if it's going to give me a benefit while I'm prepping and priming my skin, and it also makes your skin just look nice and smooth, and a little goes a long way with this one, and it just slays your whole entire face. Like, this one is pricey, and sometimes when I see these prices, I'm like, yeah, you can literally kiss my, but with this one, it is so worth it. Go get yourself a sample. And you know what's so amazing though, is that so many high-end brands now are creating mini sizes. So they have a mini of this one. So if you don't want to go ahead and splurge on this large one and you want to test it out, you can ask for a sample, of course, but say that you really want to give it a go get the mini. I think it is $25. It's going to last you a long time because, like I said, a little goes a long way. I'm going to have to link that mini for you too, because so many brands are coming out with the minis. Okay, sprays. So Max Fix Plus has been my favorite for I don't know, like 7+ years now. I love it because it's a refresher. I love how it takes away like that powdery look when you really set your face kind of heavily and you want more like those full coverage days. And it's just, I don't know, it gives you like a little pep in your step. Like even right now, I just love how it makes my skin feel. It just hydrates. You can also spray this on your eyeshadow brushes, make your metallics and pigments and all that even more vivid and just super duper beyond into infinity and beyond. I also like using this just to spray my face after I moisturize, or say like I'm lazy and I don't want to like really prime my face, put anything, or I'm not going to be using this. I'll just spray this on my face just to kind of help give some hydration, and I just go out the door. Now, when I really want to set my face, I love the Urban Decay All Nighter. It has just been a ride or die. It's a holy grail product. So many people love it and it's for a reason. Again, it comes in a travel size, so I'll link the regular size and the travel size. Now for concealers, I'm honestly pretty boring this year. I mean, I had to obviously show something, but I'm still using the Tarte Shape Tape. I'm in the shade medium. I'm wearing it today. The coverage is bomb. I don't get any extra like lines, you know, only my natural ones, and that's about it. And then when I want something moisturizing, I'm still using the Too Faced Born This Way. I didn't really find any other concealers that I loved. I was thinking about maybe sticking in the Jouer, but it was just a little bit too heavy and you have to really know how to work with it because it can tend to get a little bit cakey, and some days that I did wear it, I would have like, I don't know, I need to learn how to use that concealer, really test it out with like how the weather is, how my skin is. It's like one of those, it's like an equation. So, but those two were my favorite. Jouer is really bomb for full coverage, like glam, like full coverage. For foundations, I know so many people hated this product, but I actually really loved it. I'm completely out. I have like very little in this one, and this is the Hello Happy from Benefit. I know people were upset, which I'm totally with you and on board about the shade range. There was like no shades because I even had difficulty finding a shade, and I'm like in the middle, you know. I'm a medium tan. I was a 6 when I was lighter, and then when I would want to ump it up, I was a 7. And I was never a full 7, so I did have to mix, but it's such a natural and beautiful product. Super runny though. It evens out your complexion, really beautiful. And I feel like I didn't really hear a lot of people rave about this, but I think it looks bomb. Did you get a facial because your skin just looks naturally so beautiful? One of those types of deals. Like, this is great for every day. Coverage isn't like full blown, just right when you just want to just even it out. Wait, that's not even. This is even. Even it out. Next up, I have the NARS Natural Radiant Foundation. I love this. And guess what, you guys? They have minis of these now. They just launched maybe about a month ago. So I love that they're also doing that. I don't know. I know it's half fluid ounce. It's 0.5 ounces, and this one's 1 fluid ounce. I can't remember the price, but they have a lot of shades. I don't know if it's like all their shades. I'll go ahead and link it down below, so hopefully they have your shade. This one just makes you look so angelic and glowing and lit from within, and you don't look cakey, and you can build this foundation. It looks so good. Now, I will say, if you have oily skin, just kind of like properly prep. Like in my T-zone, I'll kind of use something a little bit more mattifying. It's always like about like the prep. Like, make sure you take care of your skin, because sometimes people are like, oh, I hate that foundation, that one sucks, but it's like, but does your skincare regimen suck? That's the real question. Next is going to be a foundation. Well, foundation, I'll get to it. When you want to be locked and loaded, full coverage, and also you're protecting your face, because this baby has SPF 50. It Cosmetics Bye Bye Foundation is amazing because it flexes with your skin, and I'm someone where I'm like super animated, and my issue is with other foundations is that they don't really move with my skin. It's like crack, break apart, fade. Hydrating and anti-aging with 3D Skin Flex. 3D Skin Flex. Now, I learned all about this foundation, and it honestly is true. If you are someone where you move a lot, you talk a lot, you move like a lot of your face, you know, unless like you got Botox in your entire face, you're going to benefit from this. And I'm talking about Botox like everywhere. You're just like happy, sad, mad. It is full coverage. If you do use less product, you can get like a medium full, but to me, this is full coverage. I'm currently wearing it today, and whenever I wear it, always compliments. Doesn't feel heavy. I know I'm protecting my skin, and I feel like my foundation doesn't like fade. It really is locked and loaded with this one. It came to eye palettes. I loved the honey. The honey was like one of my favorites. I do love the heat. The cherry was okay, but the honey is probably one of my favorites because I am a gold lover. You guys know I love my warm and like diarrhea brown colors in my crease, because I mean, how else can you describe them? I mean, it definitely looks like you got McGurgles, you know, like all these different shades right here. I loved this palette. I'm currently wearing it today in combination with another one, but it was a definite like go-to palette. Like, I was super duper excited. I thought, wow, this is like a gold lover's dream. And like I said, like that diarrhea brown lover's dream as well. I am not a fan of a lot of, actually most Anastasia eyeshadow palettes. I don't know what it is, but they are just not my favorite. I feel like they're kind of hard to blend, and they tend to have too much kickback randomly in each palette. Like some are good, some are not. I just don't care for the brand. But now I wanted to support Jackie Aina because she came out with her palette. First of all, the packaging, A+. I use this formula, it was so bomb. Like I could not put this down, and that has never happened with me with an Anastasia palette. I've bought palettes and I've returned like all of them that I've purchased, like the last 3, because I just didn't care for them. But this one, I don't know what it was, but they switched it up because they definitely blend really beautifully. The metallics are great. You don't get too much kickback at all. I don't know what they changed, but whatever they changed, it was really good. So this one, despite it being Jackie Aina, I mean, say that it wasn't her palette, I'd still love it. The only thing I will say is I think this purple is a little bit hard to blend out. You guys, the godmother of all makeup, Tati Beauty. Now, when Tati released this palette, I was so beyond excited because, one, you already know that she's tried out thousands and thousands of eyeshadows, and she is honestly such a perfectionist that you know that she probably went to multiple labs, did so many multiple swatches and tests and combinations and shades. And I love the layout of her palette, just having like that one name and having it in 4 different finishes, to me is just so genius. And I didn't expect anything less from her, but these glitters are absolutely sickening. Like, not like they make me go, what? You know, like sick. These glitters, whenever I place them on top, oh my gosh, they sparkle like no other. There's this one restaurant like we love going to, and I told the girl that we always see that helps us, I was like, dude, I love your eyeshadow. And she's like, oh my gosh, it's the Tati palette. I was like, I should have known, because the glitter, it just hits a certain way. I can't wait till she launches a new palette. I do know that she did stock up on this palette, so in case you guys wanted it, you didn't get your hands on it because it's sold out. I know she just restocked 2 days ago or so. So next up for cheeks, I only have one palette for you. It's not even a single blush or anything. Go check out my drugstore and affordable makeup picks. You will know what I used all of last year. Like, I listed them all, like my top picks, but I have to give it up for this NARS palette. To me, I think NARS does certain cheek palettes just so well. Well, no, not certain. All of their cheek palettes are probably one of my favorites. Whenever another brand like releases like a cheek palette, I don't get excited. The formula is always really beautiful, and I love how they're never ever powdery. There's something about the formula that whatever they make, it looks like it wouldn't even go on your brush, right? It looks like I haven't touched it. I've used this thing so much, like you don't even get like powder from it. So I don't even know what type of formula this is, but this palette specifically is called the Exposed palette. And I love all the shades, because sometimes I will say, which I really appreciate now, is that they're adding darker shades to their palettes. Before, they used to just have like one set palette, but now they're coming out with a light palette and then like a medium dark palette, which I do appreciate. I'm currently wearing the blush. I'm wearing a combination. What I love about this palette is that I combine it like crazy. This one, and this one. Now I'm combining all 3, and when you place it on your brush, you almost look at your brush like, do I even have pigment on it? Because it looks like nothing gets picked up. Like I said, these look weird. Like, they honestly look weird and dry, but they are not. So I have that blush on today, and then I'm currently wearing the highlight that's in this palette. Again, a highlight that looks super nice and wet. I am a creature of habit. When I love something, like say for instance a shirt, if I love a shirt, I'm gonna get it in all 4 colors that it comes in. Now, I do the same thing with certain makeup products. Like, why you try something else, I'm probably gonna be disappointed. For instance, Laura Mercier. What do you love? Laura Mercier. A lot of people will say it. So I told myself, Lizzy, get away from it. So I finished my big tub, and I said, okay, let's start using your others. Let's discover. And the Lawless Seal the Deal is one of my favorites. It is right next to that Laura Mercier, maybe a little step below. I can't say it's overtaken like my Laura Mercier love, but this one, the classic translucent, is really good. It's basically like the same exact thing. It doesn't make my under eyes cakey. I don't like to necessarily use it to set all over my face though. I will say that because I feel like it gives the slightest little like white cast where you can see it, and it kind of manipulates like your foundation color, but underneath the eyes, bomb. I have also been trying out their brightening one, which I love just as much, where I almost feel like they're very similar. So I'm just putting the classic out there because I do find that this brightens a little bit. So as far as the face powder, which I don't think I've ever shown you guys, the Matte Velvet Skin from Makeup Forever. Now, I love this powder when I just want to have full coverage or just a soft focus look. I'm currently wearing it today over my foundation and it just looks so good. So this is the shade right here. I don't use the sponge. I just use a powder brush. If you use the sponge, I mean, I've tried it obviously, but I don't really care for it because I feel like it looks more cakey. Like, it's okay if you do like a soft, like little pat around, but to really place it all over, I don't care for it. But what I like to use is just like a brush. This is just from BH Cosmetics. And I just do a light dusting, and to me, it looks perfect. But if you want full coverage, use a sponge. I am in the shade Y405. The only gripe I have with Makeup Forever is like, dude, just give me a caramel. Just give me a toffee. Just give me a golden beige. Like, I want names, not numbers. Because when I go to Sephora, sometimes I'm like, okay, I don't feel like busting out my phone. Bust down, Tatiana. I don't feel like busting down out my phone. I said busting down my phone to look up like my quiz. I know they can do the face IQ. I know they can do all of that. But sometimes when you're there, you just want to be in your own zone. You're like, look at all these numbers like, what the hell am I? Like, what's in the middle? What do I pick? What were my numbers? What were my letters? It's like, it's a whole thing. It's almost like a second social security. Wish that they would just put names, but other than that, I am Y405. 405. But it just looks very airbrush, effortless. I feel like whenever I use that, it really locks and loads my makeup and I don't have to blot. Maybe I'll powder one more time within the night, and I'm talking about like a full day's worth wear, and this is a full day's worth wear. What? A full day's wear? Yeah. And I'll only powder one more time. For highlight, I kind of like try to use so many because I really just set up my highlighters where I was like, all right, these are all the ones I love. And I was trying to use one every single day. But a palette I kept going back to was the Hyper Real Glow. Even when I traveled, I always brought this because your girl's got options. And I am someone where I am a gold champagne lover. This one is really beautiful. What I like is that you can get a natural look if you lightly tap in. Lightly. And then you can really get like a super glowing look. And my other favorites, I was talking about how I tend to use two different highlights, and that's why I love this palette, because I can use this down my face and kind of mix these two for my cheek, or just use this for my cheek when I'm a little bit more brown biscuit, or this one. And highlights are really hard because there's so many good ones now. There's a lot of good drugstore, there's a lot of high end. It's kind of like personal preference, but this was the one that I was annihilating. I do have the other one, but it's a little bit light, the gold one, and then there's this one with a bronze. So let me show you. Okay, see how this one's just much lighter? So that one has the bronze, and then, which I feel like the color should be opposite, but I like the gold one. The gold one. I hear everybody still talking about Lily. I'm like, okay, let me give this girl a try. I almost say, let me give this hoe a try. Sometimes I have a bad habit. I'm like, did you hear what that hoe said? Like, it's so bad. I was gonna say, let me give that hoe a try. So I decided, I decided to try them out again. Love them. This is Miami, and this is like my favorite set, along with this one as well. I thought I was just buying the same Miami, but this one, Ella. So they're both beautiful sets. They last a really long time. Definitely got a lot of uses out of them. Like, probably got my 20 uses. Okay, so whenever I prime my eyes, I don't use like your typical eye primer. I end up using a concealer. And if you guys have been seeing my videos, I always use my NARS Soft Matte Creamy Concealer. I have the shade Macadamia. As you can see, I definitely use that baby. And then I also have the shade Medium 2 Ginger. Obviously, I use that baby a lot. This is what I use every single day. But now I wanted to go one step below the macadamia, and I got custard, just so it's a little bit more brightening. I just tried it today. That is what I'm wearing on my eyes, and I absolutely love it. I like it because it doesn't dry out my eyes. I don't have super oily lids. It just works for me. I mean, this is a pricey product. I think I paid $26 for this, 24, 27, when it's in the 20s for sure. I really love it, and it lasts a long time. A little goes a long way because this baby is super duper pigmented. I did love it underneath my eyes when I tried it so long ago when it first came out, but now I don't even bother with it underneath my eyes. I love it on my eyes to prep. Then as far as glitter goes, Midnight Cowboy from Urban Decay, you guys need to get this. It is so stunning. Every time I wear glitter, I love the applicator. I also just used it in my 2019 recap and what my 2020 goals are. It doesn't look stunning like on the hand right now, but in person, it sparkles a lot. I love how you have precision. You could hit that cut crease. I could put it right in here if I wanted to, on my inner corners where I usually use it a lot. And it is my favorite shade, favorite formula. It doesn't crack. Bomb. They have other shades, but this one's like my number one. Last thing, lipstick. So I decided not to really concentrate on lipstick shade as much. I wanted to concentrate on formula. So first up is this Makeup Forever Artist Nude Creme. This lip product blew me away. It is a very juicy, creamy liquid lip. It's like a gloss, but like a balm, but super duper pigmented. And I don't know the scent of it. This one is called 06 Nude. They have one that's more of like a true nude, like a more like brown nude, light nude. And that one I completely used up. And that says a lot because I have so many lip products that I love using. Look at that. Look at that pigmentation just going down. I hope you guys can see that. Very, very pigmented. They are very creamy. They make your lips look nice and glossy, just really healthy and very, very sexy. This one's my other favorite shade. It is almost gone too. Like I don't have that much because I was going ham on this one and then that nude one. Now, another formula that I love, it's what I'm wearing right now. It's the NARS Audacious lipstick line. This one's in the shade Barbara. I have always loved this line. Super creamy, hydrating, colors are stunning, full of pigment. This is not a liquid lip, so you will have to apply eventually, but a bomb lipstick. This one's like for an anniversary or something. That's why it's in this packaging, like a glitter packaging. Next up for a liquid lip, which really surprised me and I'm obsessed with them now, are the Kylie liquid lipsticks. Now, I don't know what the girl changed in it, but she did a good change because they last so long. Like say when I do my trips to Disneyland, or I know I don't want to touch up, or I'm going to be just too busy and I don't want to have to worry about my lip color, but I really want to make sure it stays. This is what I'm bringing. So my favorite color thus far is One Wish right here. We have Commando and then Savage. These three, they look very similar. They're all the nudes. I took advantage of her Black Friday and she had them for only 10 bucks each. And then my other favorite liquid lip, which will be my last, was this my last product? Yeah, that's my last product. Fenty Beauty lip paints. Oh, amazing. So when these first came out, I know like a lot of people were talking about this one because I think this is the first one to launch. And I was seeing such mixed reviews. Like it bleeds out of the lips was one of the main things that I heard. And I was like, oh no, no, no. I already bleed like once a month. I don't need to bleed anywhere else. Oh my God, that was gross, huh? You guys, sometimes I want to say certain jokes and I just don't because I'm not trying to offend anybody. Look at them. They just look stunning. They're super cute. I love the packaging. I do love the applicator though. I love like the little button. That's what I call it because it's like this little right at the end. Curves against your lips so well and they last a long time. Now, I did not get any bleeding from any of them, so maybe try like a lip liner if you guys are in that, you know, category. That is it for my high-end favorites. Darling. I was kind of like, oh, I want to suck your blood. That's what I really sounded like. I don't even sound sophisticated. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Go ahead and check out my drugstore and affordable makeup one that I posted yesterday. Go ahead and show some love also down below. Subscribe if you're not yet subscribed. And I will see you beautiful pineapples in the next one. Mwah. Whoop whoop.
Here we go. It's all about you. It's all about me. It's all about what we do. Making art, you and me. Trying to find something to believe.